So, lads, this is not a great look for the Indiana Fever organization. If you've got Caitlyn Clark, the star of the Indiana Fever, she's going and seeing whatever about not seeing the Indiana Fever's doctors. Like, it is what it is with that. It is what it is. Like, I think a lot of players and teams get second opinions. But if you haven't seen here, Stephanie White says there's no update on Caitlyn Clark or potential timeline. She met with another doctor, but White says she hasn't spoken with the trainers.
Caitlyn Clark has declared a silent war on the Indiana Fever. In a move that mirrors Kawhi Leonard's infamous exit from the San Antonio Spurs, the biggest star in basketball has reportedly fired her team's medical staff, cut off all communication, and is now seeking her own doctors in New York.
Pretty much kind of leaked out the bag to the team that she was kind of going to get a second opinion. To me, an athlete like Caitlyn Clark on her level, she should have been getting these second opinions. She should have been hearing from all these other doctors, man. But Stephanie White spoke to the media yesterday. She really didn't give a whole lot, but she did say that Caitlyn Clark was in New York meeting with other doctors. Now, with all of that being said, what does the timetable look like to me for Caitlyn Clark coming back? I keep telling y'all, around the 17th to the 30th of August.
This isn't just about another injury. This is a full-blown rebellion. While the Fever franchise tries to control the narrative with vague press releases, photos have surfaced of Clark in private meetings with a rival team, signaling she may be planning her escape. The trust is broken, the relationship is shattered, and what's happening behind closed doors is far worse than anyone realizes.
She has met with a different doctor. And she won't even give an update to the team. Not, oh yeah, you know, she's met with a different doctor and we're waiting on an update. She's waiting, or not even, well, that's basically it. They're waiting on, oh, she's gone to a different doctor and they've heard nothing.
When Caitlyn Clark limped off the court on July 15th against the Connecticut Sun, clutching her right groin in visible frustration, it wasn't just another setback. For many insiders, this was the breaking point, the moment this escalated into a full-blown crisis.
News: Caitlyn Clark. Following a July 15th injury to her right groin, Indiana Fever guard Caitlyn Clark underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week. The team can confirm that no additional injuries or damage were discovered through the evaluations. Clark will continue working with the Fever medical team on her recovery and rehabilitation, with the priority on her long-term health and well-being. There is no timetable available for Clark's return, and no additional details will be provided at this time. Any further updates will be shared as they become available.
Clark has now suffered 4 separate soft tissue injuries this season, a left quad strain, a left groin injury, and now a right groin strain, sidelining her for 13 games. For an athlete who was a pillar of durability throughout her college career at Iowa and her groundbreaking rookie season, never missing a game due to injury, this parade of ailments isn't just bad luck. It's a glaring pattern that screams medical mismanagement.
But the internet noticed something specific that Holly Rowe had to say on the broadcast. Holly Rowe said that before the last return after a quad injury, she had no practice time, which, if that's actually true, like if she wasn't practicing, if she wasn't going full speed, then why was she returning to the court? And that's actually something that I pointed out. I believe it was Scott Agnes reported that Caitlyn had gone full speed in practice, but there was only one practice that she had gone full speed, and then she returned to play.
The tipping point, according to reports, was the team's decision to rush her back from previous injuries, only for her to get hurt again. It was after this latest injury that Clark reportedly took matters into her own hands. She is now consulting with her own doctors in New York and has allegedly cut off communication with the Fever's medical team. Head coach Stephanie White openly admitted to the media that she hadn't spoken with the trainers about what Clark's outside doctors had discovered. When your star player goes rogue on her own medical care, it signals a complete and catastrophic breakdown of trust. This isn't just getting a second opinion, it's a declaration of independence.
Caitlyn Clark's team has made it known we are going to be holding her out until she is fully recovered. We are not going to be rushing her back at all. After taking Indiana Fever's advice, eventually Caitlyn Clark needs to take matters into her own hands, make decisions for herself, And I believe that's what we are seeing with the team that she now has surrounding her.
This isn't an unknown story. It's a playbook written by another superstar. In 2017, Kawhi Leonard suffered a quadriceps injury with the San Antonio Spurs. As he struggled to recover, a deep rift grew between him and the team's medical staff. He felt they misdiagnosed the severity and rushed his rehab. Like Clark, he sought outside medical opinions and eventually relocated his rehabilitation away from the team, creating a communication blackout. The trust was irreparably broken. The Spurs, one of the most respected organizations in sports, were left powerless as their superstar forced a trade. Clark's situation mirrors this almost exactly: the mysterious soft tissue injury, the loss of faith in team doctors, and the decision to take control of her own health. It's a path that historically ends in only one way: a bitter departure.
The people are speculating that Caitlyn Clark injury could be much worse than expected. You know, these type of injuries and the way she's been getting these injuries is not normal. To have these strains back to back to back like this, and I said this before, Caitlyn Clark mobility is off, bro. I believe she might have came back too fast from the first. We all know the first one went down around the 25th of May. Then she came back and got re-injured around the 4th of July to the 5th, somewhere up in there of July, and then that brings us until now.
This medical fiasco is compounded by a coaching philosophy that appears fundamentally at odds with Clark's prodigious talent. Last season under Christie Sides, the approach was simple: let Clark be Clark. Sides built the offense around her, which led to a Rookie of the Year campaign and a playoff berth. But the new coach, Stephanie White, seems determined to make Clark fit into her system, openly discussing wanting her to play more off the ball. This shows a startling misunderstanding of what makes Clark a generational player. You don't take the ball out of Magic Johnson's hands, you don't bench Michael Jordan, and you don't turn Caitlyn Clark into a role player to accommodate a system. Great players don't suddenly become less effective. They are made less effective by poor strategy.
The only good news about today is Caitlyn Clark is no longer dealing with Stephanie White and these coaches and this Indiana Fever medical staff, trainers, doctors, none of that. She's seeing her own medical doctors, her own team. That's the only good news of today. She has abandoned the Indiana Fever medical staff, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. She's pulling a Kawhi Leonard, what he did with the San Antonio Spurs, letting it be known, hey, look, I'll get back to y'all when I'm ready. I'm going with my own medical staff. Y'all can beat it, kick rocks, and I stand with you, Caitlyn Clark.
But the blame here extends far beyond a single coach or the training room. This appears to be a systemic failure. The immense pressure to capitalize on the Caitlyn Clark effect seems to have infected the entire organization. Every decision appears to be clouded by the need to sell tickets, boost TV ratings, and keep the revenue machine churning. Rushing a player back from a soft tissue injury isn't just a medical mistake, it's a business decision. It's a gamble that prioritizes short-term gains over the long-term health of the franchise's most valuable asset. The front office, the coaching staff, and the medical team all seem to be complicit in a culture that has failed to protect its superstar from the very pressure she creates.
The problem of this team is Stephanie White. It's Stephanie White. It's not Caitlyn Clark. A great player don't all suddenly sucks. That doesn't happen. It's strategic. And everybody saying that they played better without Caitlyn Clark. No. Actually, even this loss, Caitlyn Clark gives them a better chance. They're under 500 without Caitlyn Clark.
The most damning evidence of Clark's frustration surfaced after a loss to the New York Liberty. While sidelined with her injury, Clark and her agent were photographed in what appeared to be a private meeting in the tunnel of the Barclays Center with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and star players Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. This wasn't a casual post-game chat. When agents are present, it's business. The optics were crystal clear. While the Fever were mismanaging their superstar, a rival team was making its pitch. This meeting sent a shockwave through the league, confirming that other teams are already positioning themselves for her potential availability, with the championship caliber Liberty looking like a prime destination.
But this is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually marks their next destination. The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is happening.
It's not just fans who are concerned. Medical professionals have publicly criticized the Fever's handling of Clark's injuries. Dr. Jesse Morse, a respected sports medicine physician, stated bluntly on social media that whatever the Fever's medical staff is doing is unfortunately not enough. The recurring nature of her soft tissue injuries suggests a fundamental failure in the team's conditioning and rehabilitation protocols. These types of injuries are notoriously difficult to heal if not treated correctly the first time, and the fact that they keep happening points to a root cause that has never been properly addressed. When outside experts start calling your team's approach amateur hour, it's a sign that something is seriously wrong.
Out there, why Caitlyn Clark was injured is a real thing. It's not just because she's a good player and people go hard against her, in my opinion. There's some other stuff going on there. A lot of pressure to put people in seats, to put eyeballs on the game. You come back a little early. Teams, as they should, play hard against her. Some teams go over the line and refs seem to look the other way, in my opinion. You had some of that going on with some other talent in the league as well last year. But this is different. And Stephanie White needs some blame as well. The team seems a little rudderless.
You don't even need to be an insider to see the truth. Her body language tells the entire story. After her latest injury, she was visibly emotional, covering her head with a towel to hide a frustration that was clearly boiling over. And her public comments, though diplomatic, are revealing. During the All-Star break, she told a reporter, "This is the first time I haven't felt like a young body that can run around and sprint every day." For a 23-year-old athlete, that is a stunning admission. It's not the statement of a player who feels supported and properly cared for. It's the sound of an exhausted and betrayed athlete whose body is breaking down under the weight of mismanagement.
Remember Peyton Manning when he called his own plays? He said, "Tony Dungy, you run the defense, I run the offense." That's what exactly needs to happen in Indianapolis. Caitlyn Clark is literally Peyton Manning. She should be calling the plays. She should run the offense. And Stephanie White called the defense.
The numbers don't lie. The Indiana Fever are a different team without Caitlyn Clark. This season, they are 8-5 when she plays and just 6-7 when she doesn't. Her presence on the court creates space and opportunities that disappear the moment she's on the bench. Her teammate Aaliyah Boston explained it perfectly, saying, "When you have Caitlyn on the floor, everything is automatically spaced. When she's not on the floor, then obviously defenses can shrink the floor a little bit. This isn't just about losing a few games. It's the difference between being a playoff team and a potential title contender, and it all hinges on the health of one player."
There is a WNBA team that have been very, very, very much in, like, they made it clear that they want Caitlyn Clark, or they're eventually going to want Caitlyn Clark. Along those lines, they made it very, very clear. And that team is the New York Liberty. I think there is a 50-50 chance Caitlyn Clark leaves Indiana after her rookie season. No, after her rookie contract is up.
Let's be clear about what the Fever are risking. They aren't just fumbling a player, they are fumbling a multi-million-dollar enterprise. The Caitlyn Clark effect is a real quantifiable phenomenon. In her rookie season, the Fever's attendance more than tripled, jumping to over 17,000 fans per game. Across the league, teams playing the Fever saw their attendance numbers skyrocket by an average of over 8,000 fans. Television ratings for the WNBA have shattered records, all driven by her presence. She is a walking stimulus package for the entire sport. For a franchise to mishandle the health and happiness of an asset this valuable isn't just poor team management, it's catastrophic business malpractice.
Quote, "This is the first time I haven't felt like a young body that can run around and sprint every day and just continue to do that," Clark said in an event during All-Star Weekend per Glamour. Being a professional athlete, you really have to take care of both your body and your mind. It's been a journey learning about that.
Caitlyn Clark has given the Indiana Fever everything: sold-out crowds, record-breaking TV ratings, and a return to national relevance. In return, the organization has handed her a season riddled with preventable injuries, a coaching philosophy that seeks to limit her impact, and a medical staff she can no longer trust. Clark is in her prime, a 23-year-old athlete who has already proven she can dominate the league. These should be the years that Indiana builds a dynasty around her. Instead, they are wasting her talent with internal dysfunction. Every game she misses is another day pushing her closer to an inevitable departure. The choice for the Fever is simple: build around Caitlyn Clark the right way, or watch her take her generational talent to a team that will. The clock is ticking, and right now they're doing everything possible to push away the best thing that's ever happened to their franchise.